Hello and welcome to your build-up show. West Ham United take on Crystal Palace in 1 hour and 3 minutes, which means lineups are 3 minutes away. But there's one change to the West Ham starting 11. We'll get into that in 3 minutes when confirmation is gone, because being honest, I always bottle it just in case I am wrong. So it's one change. Gonzo, would you like to, if there was one change, is there anyone you're hoping it is?
Well, I'd like Antonio in if he were fit. I don't want to see Antonio in if he's not fit. I don't want to see that Aston Villa version of Antonio. I don't know. I've sat down. First time I've spoken to you today.
I put in the title again.
Okay, I've not seen it. Not seen it.
The viewers know.
I'm gonna guess. Masuaku for Ben Rama.
Masuaku? He's out for 3 months.
I don't know. It's worth a guess, isn't it?
Anyway, the scores at the minute around the ground. Southampton are 1-0 up away to Arsenal. Us and Southampton are very much continuing our title challenge.
Southampton at the top at the moment, I think.
We go for it. The downfall of Arsenal, though, they're just crap at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, it's on. I've got it on, funny enough.
Yeah, I watched that first half too.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been. They've sort of stemmed the flow a little bit, Arsenal, because I looked at the start and I thought, well, I thought they were going to be all over them, quite frankly. I thought there'd be loads of goals. In fact, they're lucky. They're lucky that Walcott didn't score sort of near the end, 5 minutes before the end. He sort of tried to do a Thierry Henry goal, didn't he? We went very wide. But that Armstrong, whoever that is, he's looking pretty tasty as well. Who's Armstrong?
Scottish international, thank you.
Oh, I'll take it back. Yeah,
that's
he's one
who
of the worst players on the pitch, actually.
He is one of the 5 players I told a certain person at West Ham United about a few years ago. Armstrong, Kieran Tierney, John McGinn, Johnson of Celtic, who's still there, and there was one other one, I can't remember who it is, but there was 5 players I told someone at West Ham about, and 3 of them are now in the Premier League.
Never heard of them.
Geo for Scout.
Never heard of any of them.
No, either a T. That's the problem. Leeds United are drawn 1-1 against Newcastle United, and Everton are currently 1-0 up away to Leicester City at half-time from around the grounds.
Great league, Geo, by the way, before we go on to West Ham Palace. Great league this year. Proper league. It's exactly how I like it. No one knows who's going to beat whom.
Just quickly, we've got a minute. Just quickly, what's your thoughts on Slaven Bilic being sacked today and Big Sam going in at West Brom? Just very quickly.
I feel sorry for Slav. Always feel sorry for Slav. That being said, but it's off the back of last night's result as well. It seems a bit odd, you know.
It's not. It's not odd. I'll tell you what it is. Aldice had the job yesterday, but did not want his first game in charge away to Man City. Aldice bottled it. He don't want that on his CV, does he? Let Slav do it. Let Slav get beat, and then I'll take over the next day and look like a hero for getting a point against Villa on Sunday. Anyway, the official lineups are out, and to be confirmed, there is one change. Fabianski continues in goal, and we're playing a back 4 again with Soufal, Ogbonna, Creswell, and the change is Issa Diop in for Fabian Balbuena. Midfield.
That ruins my video that I've done today.
Yes, it does. We've got a midfield 5 again of Rice and Solchet with Fornals and Bowen and Ben Rama in behind Sebastian Allaire. Just quickly, I'll rattle through the bench very quickly because there's not really much to discuss. We've got Randolph, Fredericks, Dawson, Noble, Snodgrass, Lanzini and Yarmolenko. So Yarmolenko makes the bench this week and no Balbuena at all, which means no Ben Johnson in the squad as Yarmolenko nicks his spot. And
so Balbuena's not on the bench.
It would suggest he's injured.
Right. Okay. Oh, well, fair enough. Let's just hope he's been having the team drilled well enough that they can make that swap in central. I mean, it should be a natural swap. Diop to come in for Balbuena. I mean, let's be fair, it was his position to start with anyway. It is a big performance here, Diop, actually, because he's nicked his shirt, actually. Not his actual shirt, but he has stolen his place in the team, and he's done it on merit, an honest theft, if you like. And I don't know, it's going to be an interesting one. If Diop plays well, Moyes has got a really interesting and excellent decision, by the way, the sort of decision all managers would like. Is it going to affect the cohesion of the team, who've been playing very, very well, haven't they, in that back line? That being said, they've only played once in that shape anyway. Interesting. Maybe Diop's a little bit better because a little bit bigger for the aerial attack. I don't know, a little bit quicker, which might help, particularly as he's going to play as the right centre back, which means Eze and Zaha will be pulling him off. If you're pulling off of him, you know what I mean. All that disgusting things.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think hopefully it's an injury. If it's not an injury, I think it's a risky change. I think it's one that's it's unnecessary risk. You don't need to do it just yet. I know we've got a busy period coming up, but the busy period starts now. We're not in the middle of it yet. We don't need to worry about rotation yet. Saying that, Crystal Palace have got a few changes, so we'll get on to that.
Okay.
He's rotating, but we don't need to. We're going into this in confidence. The defence has been playing well together. So I have to assume it's an injury. And if it is, I think he's put the right player in there. I'm not going to lie. We are led to believe that Diop was sort of dropped altogether from the squad and Dawson was put in there for some sort of experience or something. I don't get it really, because Craig Dawson's hardly 19 years old. He doesn't need experience of matchday squad. I don't get it, Gonzo. I don't believe it, to be honest. This Craig Dawson was included from experience of being around the squad. Ben Johnson, I understand, but Craig Dawson.
Are you accusing the West Ham press department of not telling the truth, Geo?
I'm just a bit cynical as I get older in life.
I'm surprised to say such a thing.
So, if Balbuena was injured, if we knew Balbuena was injured this morning, I would genuinely be worried Craig Dawson was going to be starting tonight. So I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit relieved that he's put Diop in there. And could you imagine Dawson against Zaha?
I'd prefer to go from Dawson's Creek, quite frankly.
I'm pleased that it's Diop, but listen, I've seen Diop have a few poor games for us and get pulled apart by pulled apart by a few players. And
one is preferable. One is definitely preferable to the other.
It depends what you're into. But so that's a bit of a concern. But the rest of the team sort of picked itself a little bit. I would have liked to have seen Lanzini start, but I'm not surprised he's continued with what he was doing because it's working at the end of the day. Ben Rama continues in his number 10 role. Expecting to see a big performance from him. I think he's up against Palace's formation suits Ben Rama more than what Leeds' did, I think, with their sort of flat forward midfield.
Yeah, I am expecting a big performance from him. He's got an extra game's worth of experience, particularly playing within that formation as well. I think he has the freedom, if as we assume it's the same, which is a free role drifting behind Sebastian Haller or up front on his own, which is another way to describe it. He could score a winner. He's so talented. He really is. And you know what? He could get them turning on their heels. And what I quite like about him being involved against this particular team is they're a defensive team, Crystal Palace. But so are we. But we can both attack and score goals. I think that's fair to say. But when they decide to try and shut up shop, you know, 2 banks of 4 plus another one. Benteke in there, who I guess is starting for defending corners and stuff like that. Sometimes it just takes a bit of magic to break those teams down, and what you've got to do when there's 3 things. You got to have a set play, which you're good at, long shot, or you dribble past a player. Those are the things that break those teams down, because what it does is it takes someone out of position. So then suddenly you create a 2-on-1 or something like that, and all the preparation in the world, it doesn't really matter if a player can dribble past you and then curl one into the top corner. So yeah, I mean it's there's a bit of responsibility on him today, some attacking responsibility certainly. We ain't always going to score from headers, from free kicks and corners. So yeah, I'm really delighted to see him in Geo.
Yeah, the bench, Yarmolenko's on the bench. That's good news. I think now we've got sort of a striker option on the bench there. Against Leeds, we didn't really have that. Lanzini was the most attacking player. It would have been difficult if Sebastian Haller was playing poor, but now Haller's got a little bit of pressure on, and there's a like-for-like swap on there that Moyes will make, should he feel necessary. I'm a bit disappointed, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit disappointed Ben Johnson's not on the bench and Fredericks is, because the last 2 games Johnson's come on off the bench.
Yep.
Fredericks hasn't. But yeah, when it comes to dropping one of them, he's chose to drop Ben Johnson, the more versatile of the two. It's a bit disappointing that. I get why he's done it. He keeps the more experienced player happy, keeps him in there. But I just think, I know it's nitpicking, but should there be an injury to Alan Creswell, I'd much prefer to see Ben Johnson coming off the bench and Ryan Fredericks. We know Johnson can play on the left, and we're yet to see it with Ryan. But that's all. Nitpicking.
I'm just writing down my catchphrase.
Okay, you write down your catchphrase. For those who don't know, we're going to do a bet soon, and if we put a catchphrase up, you put it in the live chat to enter, and if it wins, we give one of you the money. Now, I'm going to read out the Crystal Palace team now. Greta continues in goal. A back four, Van Aanholt, Scott Dan. He comes into the back four for Gary Cahill. Scott Dan comes in to play alongside Cheika Kiate, with Joe Ward coming in at right back for Klein. A midfield four of Eze on the left, Townsend on the right, who's coming in for Jeffrey Schlupp. A midfield pairing of James MacArthur and Milivojevic. I don't know how you say his name. All right, Milo.
It's close enough.
Milivojevic in midfield, with Zaha and Benteke continuing up front. So a few changes, but the difference is they played on Sunday and we played on Friday. So I think it is going to impact them a little bit. So a few changes by Roy.
Look, I mean, Townsend's a good player. I don't see much change there, really. Townsend in for Schlupp. Possibly a bit more attacking, Townsend. The change in the defence there, that's really interesting. I think they've weakened themselves there. Cahill's their best defender.
He's not on the bench, though, Cahill. So
okay. All right, well, okay, well, similar to us then. You know, they've lost a guy as we have in Balbuena. Joel Ward. Look, I mean, you often don't want to curse yourself when you do these videos, all right? So I'm going to say the words which I'm aware could be turned into a clip if I get it wrong. But Joel Ward isn't going to start running down the right-hand side, overlapping the winger and start banging him in from that sort of position. He is a defender. I think this is really good. That's not great for them, particularly if Benrahma takes up that sort of left-sided position when we're attacking. Kiate, we all know about Kiate. I mean, Kiate had some of his best games at West Ham at centre-half, by the way, so he's no mug. He also played there for Anderlecht. He played Champions League football at centre-half for Anderlecht. However, you do get the impression that their first choice central defensive partnership is Scott Dan and Gary Cahill. Cahill's a big loss. He's their best defender. No difference from their midfield. No difference from their attack. Just as potent in the attack, which is obviously where they're good. Weaknesses in defence. We have to attack them.
Yeah, I think he's possibly resting Klein, which I would understand given Klein's injury record is horrific. You've got to look after him. You've got to protect Klein as much as possible. Going into this period, he's going to be lucky to play 1 and 2 games, Klein. So I think I get that. The bench, by the way, for Crystal Palace is Jack Butland, Jordan Ayew, Jeffrey Schlupp, Michi Batshuayi, Tyrick Mitchell, the fullback, James Tompkins, and then Jadio Riedwald, who's was a defender, now a midfielder. So decent enough bench for Crystal Palace.
Decent bench.
I think that's a good bench. Anyway, we'll start doing our bet. Well, do you want to put our bet together now before we have our final thoughts and whatnot?
Yes, please.
What are you fancying? I've got my bet 365. I'm ready to
go. You could take your pick. Either one of those central defenders, Milivojevic or MacArthur, to get a card. You've got to have one of them in, mate.
Okay, I put in Milivojevic. I put him in. He's a nutter.
Yeah, he is. We're going to score against that defence. I don't know if that makes a difference, or you want a particular precise scorer.
Benrahma. I'm going to put Benrahma in. I fancy it. Yeah, he's going to ping shots, isn't he? So basically, he's going to score 5 goals. He's going to take 5 shots.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's true. What are we at now?
10-1. We need a couple more things in here.
Okay. All right, go on. You chuck one in there.
I think we're going to have to put a Palace player into land. I think we're maybe going to have to put Zaha in to score.
It depends how much you want to boost the old stats. You put Benteke in to score. That'll be big. I know because he don't score many goals. I don't know if that changes the odds slightly.
No, let's put in Zaha to score. West Ham to get 4 corners. And do you reckon West Ham will get a yellow card? Just 1 yellow card?
No.
You think we'll have no bookings?
No bookings. Actually, no. Soufal's going to try and kill Zaha.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 55-1. That'll do.
Okay.
So to read this out,
how much if we put a pound on? How much we get back on that at 55-1?
£56. But anyway, right. So use at home. Gonzo's thinking of a phrase. He's already wrote it down. He's thinking of a phrase. He's going to read it out in a second. Put it in the live chat, and if this bet wins, we will give someone the winnings. The bet is look at Milivojevic to be booked, Said Benrahma to score, Zaha to score, West Ham to get 4 or more corners, and West Ham to get at least 1 yellow card in the game. £280. 280 quid is what we're going to give to someone if that bet wins. The phrase to put in the live chat is
Yarmo's come on the bench.
Right, in the live chat, put Yarmo's come on the bench, and if this bet wins, we're going to give one of you the cash. If it's still processing for people, I hope it's taking forever. This bet 365. Come on, yeah. Anyway,
it's stuck. A bit like someone who sits on that bench.
Yeah, it's sticky. Yes. Anyway, what's your final thoughts? You know the score. Yes, you don't know the score yet. You don't know the lineups.
I'll be doing a bet. And I wouldn't be asking for a phrase. I'll just be doing a bet myself. I'll be rich. I'll be saying this is the last video I'm ever going to do. And then there you go. That'd be that. So I don't know the score, unfortunately. So we will be back after for our review. I'm feeling a little bit more positive. I've got to say, I'm quite pleased with Crystal Palace's changes. Probably more pleased than Crystal Palace fans are. I still think they're going to be quite potent in attack. I still think that there's not going to be the space in behind that they like. I think they might be slightly disappointed when they want to sit back and try and hit us on the break, because they'll be disappointed that we don't really go that high up as a team, as a unit. So there's not going to be massive amounts of space there. The DIOP change is interesting. As I say, I only hope with that it's not a complete surprise. David Moyes don't give anything away anymore in his press conferences, so all I can hope is that Balbuena almost got the knock in the last game, so he's had 3 or 4 training sessions, Diop, in that back 4, in that system. If that's the case, I think we'll be all right. I mean, it's going to be interesting. If he puts in man of the match performance today, Diop, it's going to be very, very interesting.
I actually think, funny enough, it's going to be difficult for us to put in a counter attack, because I think Palace don't commit many players forward. They say to Benteke, Zaha, Eze, and Townsend, probably, you guys go. The rest of us will sit here and wait. So you can't make it work. They pick up the ball and come out at us. Don't worry, we've got strength in numbers at the back already. I think it's going to be very difficult for us. I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a game. This game's going to be a bit more of a game of chess, whereas Leeds United was a bit of a free for all. Particularly in the first half, it was like you have a go, we'll have a go. You have a go, we'll have a go. I don't think that's going to be like this tonight. I think the tempo will be a bit slower. I think it'll be more free kicks. I think it'll be a horrible, niggly little game to get involved in. Coots the referee, which is not good news. He's crap. So I think it's going to be quite a tough watch in a way. But I do expect goals, because both teams have got sort of star players, if you like. Zaha, Eze, Benrahma, Sebastian Haller on his day, Bowen. Both teams have got players that can score goals. Both teams have got players capable of creating something from nothing, whether it's a free kick, whether it's a decent cross or something. And I thought Palace looked excellent against Tottenham in the second half of the game at the weekend gone by. The good thing is they've got rotation in there. We've got a settled side. We've got 1 forced change on us. That is it. They've had to do 3 changes with rotation. But both teams have got a strong bench as well. So I'd expect to be sort of match-winning substitutions made should there be necessary. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm feeling good. Now, in the preview, you were not feeling overly confident. I think your confidence has gone up a little bit since seeing the lineups. Reading your vibes, Gonzo. Can I get your final thoughts? And you said 1-1? You said 1-1 in the preview?
I said 1-1, but I have been accused by somebody, and they're quite right, of hedging my bets. They say that I based on a recent game. I predicted a loss in this. I predicted a draw in the build-up show, and I predicted a win on a lunchtime video. And they said, well, you were going to say something right, and he was absolutely right. So I do apologise. However, I am going to do it again. I'm going to hedge my bets, and I'm going to predict a win for West Ham.
Interesting. I said 2-1 West Ham in the preview, and I'm going to stick with 2-1 West Ham as well. I just think we've got a better team. If all our players turn up and put in a 10 out of 10 performance, we win. However, if all our players turn up tonight putting a 7 out of 10 performance, sometimes that's enough to win the game. I don't think tonight's one of those, because I think Crystal Palace are too organised. Like Sheffield United, Fulham, we turned up and put in a 7 out of 10 performance, but it was enough to get the 3 points. Tonight, I don't think that's the case. I think if we only do a 7 out of 10, we'll come away with a draw. We have to be better, we have to be sharper. But if I've seen what I saw against Leeds and in the first hour against Manchester United, we are winning tonight. I'm going to go for West Ham 2, Crystal Palace 1. Anyway, shall we wrap it up there, Gonzo?
Let's wrap it up. We'll be back directly after the final whistle.
We will. So join us at full time for the review and drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Got something, Gonzo? We'll catch you in a bit.